buried my dog in a stereo box.
If you're hearing our voices, it means it's time for It's This Meets That, the podcast where we watch the worst movies from trailer to end credits, scene by scene, so you don't have to, but maybe you should. I'm Russ.
I'm Jared.
Seems completely efficient and completely reasonable.
Yeah.
How big was that dog?
Well,
better question is, how big is the stereo?
Yeah, bigger than you think.
Oh my God.
Did have to bury a cat once in a cardboard box. That was actually kind of sad.
Yeah, I had to bury my cat. No,
this wasn't my cat.
Oh, yeah, I buried my cat. Of course, when he died, though, he like stretched out, so he was just like rigor mortis. He's like,
yeah.
I was like, dude, did you have to stretch? Could you just curled up into a little ball like you usually do and just died peacefully? No, you had to like make me dig a bigger hole.
Yep, I'm familiar. Well, good intro,
right? You did this.
I know.
Okay.
It was either that or why can't I be Bette Davis?
Why can't any of us be? All right, so we're back with part one of our breakdown of P.S. I Love You, 2007 romantic comedy. I don't know
Allegedly.
if I call this. I don't know if I would call this. This can't be comedy, right? This is just
romantic.
Yeah, it's kind of depressing and super sad, and yeah, so I just call it sad movie drama.
Yeah,
romantic drama.
Did have to whip out a cry counter at some point for Thais. So
yeah, it's a rama.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so yeah, we're going to do this. Do you want to refresh us and the listeners, myself, to what this movie's about?
Yeah, I almost forgot. So the premise here is a young widow discovers that her late husband has left her 10 messages intended to help ease her pain and start a new life. Okay.
I think as we talked about in Trailer Trash, that sounds actually more like torture.
Yeah.
It sounds like a cruel thing to do to someone. So, hey, you know what? If you're going to die, don't do this.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm probably going to do it.
I'm definitely going to do it. And Thais told me she'd be mad if I didn't. So
if you didn't?
If I didn't, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'm going to have letters sent to everyone probably a year or two after I die. Just to really be like, what the? Yeah.
After the healing is already underway.
Oh, yeah.
Rip the scab off.
Yeah. Or just send random letters like, hey, you owe me $5 still. How do we do with prognostications? We were so close.
I feel like pretty close.
Right? Pretty close. If not, we were close. And then I think we improved the movie.
Yeah.
His soul is not trapped forever. He does not walk the earth searching for other widows to prey upon with his writing skills.
I mean, we don't know that for sure.
It's true.
At the end, he's left her, but he could be on for his next victim. This
is true. He actually, spoilers, he broke up with her, really.
That's right.
At the end of this. So.
There's no way to know. I think we were right.
Yeah, I think we were right. So, all right, quick info.
That's it. All
right, so this is directed by Richard LaGravenese.
LaGravenese.
That might be, LaGravenese. Richard there. Richard. He's got a lot of writing credits. He also wrote this, P.S. I Love You, with the other screenwriter we'll get to in a second. Freedom Writers, he did also in 2007 that had Hilary Swank in it. I don't know I didn't mean either. Beautiful Creatures, he did a screenplay for that. I do know, I'm aware of that movie.
I feel like I've heard of that one.
The Comedian in 2016, and this is all just writing credits. Like that one, I remember hearing about this one.
Oh, De Niro.
Yeah, De Niro, Danny DeVito. I remember this.
What wasn't Water for Elephants supposed to be good? I didn't see that, but I heard that was a movie.
I don't know. But for under directing credits, he's got again a handful of things here. Freedom Writers, he wrote and directed. P.S. I Love You, he wrote and directed, and Beautiful Creatures. Yeah, and he's got a couple other things. So not a ton of credits. Okay, whatever. He's
done enough.
He knows
You've done enough. Stop.
He knows what he's doing behind the camera. So, writers in this. So it's Richard there.
Yeah.
And Steven Rogers,
Steve Rogers.
Yeah. Captain America himself.
Huh.
Yeah. He got into this.
What are the odds?
Yeah. What are the odds? So he's, again, just written a handful of things. Hope Floats. I feel like I know that one back in 98. That sounds familiar.
Okay.
Earthly Possessions, television, whatever. I don't know.
I think I've seen Stepmom.
Kate and Leopold. I know that one. That's the
and the Tanya Harding
And then out of note, like out of left field here, he does like P.S. I Love You in 2007. Takes a solid 7-year break, or maybe does other things.
Smart.
Writes Love the Coopers, which I don't know, and then comes in 2017 hot with I, Tonya, which was good.
I didn't see it, but I heard it was good. Yeah, not an obvious scam writing career here.
No,
these guys they have credits.
Yeah, they're doing things. And this is based on the book by Cecilia Ahern, which we'll talk about in Fast Facts. So,
and then some.
So who's in this? So we got the Swankster, Hilary Swank, friend of the pod. She plays Holly. We got Jerry Butts, G Butts, Gerard Butler. Basically playing himself. Yeah, more or less. So when we say Jerry, we're actually talking about the character that Jerry is playing. So
that's right.
Harry Connick Jr. plays Daniel. Lisa Kudrow plays Denise, a friend. Gina Gershon plays Sharon, another friend. Kathy Bates plays Patricia, the mom. Nellie McKay plays, was it pronounced Ciara?
I think it was Kira. I think they pronounced it as Kira in the movie. Yeah, but it's spelled like Ciara. Yeah, maybe an Irish spelling. I don't know.
Oh, maybe. Yeah.
Yeah, they pronounce it like Kira. Weirdly.
Kira. Jeffrey Dean Morgan coming in as William, and Mike Doyle playing the Leprechaun.
Nice. Yeah, not an actual leprechaun. A pretend leprechaun.
Our leprechauns pretend. I like how that's where we're going.
Yeah, not a real leprechaun.
So production budget, box office stuff. So the box office has made $155,769,678.
That's too many dollars in my opinion.
Million USDs. It did 50-ish million domestic and then 102 international.
Yeah, it's like 41,000 fanatics. Unbelievable.
I'm curious to see the international numbers breakdown for this, because
you think it was big in Ireland?
Well, so I mean, the book was big in Ireland.
I mean, if it made half of that in Ireland, then that's everyone in Ireland saw it 8 times. Right? Like
something like that. So all right, so 155 million box office, did another 32 million in video. And this was on a budget of 30 million.
Wow. So huge.
Yeah. I mean, even if you doubled that for marketing, which I highly doubt it was doubled, but I mean, let's just say it was 60 million.
Sure.
Moneymaker.
Yeah.
So.
Well, good for them.
Now, in Rotten Tomatoes, this sits at 25% critic score and 80% audience score. 80%. That's probably the highest.
Unbelievable.
Is that high? Is that higher than
Love Actually?
Is it?
I don't think so. I thought that was in the 80s, but I could be wrong.
For some reason, I feel like I was like in the 70s or something, or maybe even.
All I know is I hope Cecilia Ahern here got. I hope she had points on the.
Yeah, seriously.
Right?
So Love Actually is 72% audience score, but that's out of 250,000 ratings, right? I bet this is not even that close.
Oh no, dude! I'm looking right now. 250,000 plus, also.
Really? Okay.
80%.
Wow. So the fans like this movie more than Love Actually.
Yeah.
Which just goes to show you how bad of a movie Love Actually is.
And how dumb you all are. Got that. I'm just kidding, listeners. I don't think anything less of you if you like this movie.
I don't think you, the listeners, because like if you're listening to this, then you're here for a particular reason. You're not.
Yeah. But I feel like our core listeners are come here to be angry about us doing things like this. Tell me I'm wrong, listeners. Send me an email. Tell me I'm wrong.
Yeah. All right. Well, do you want to PS Hollywood pitch me, motherfucker?
Oh my God.
I just came up with that.
Dare I?
Yeah, pretty sweet, right?
Okay. So I'm not sure how I feel about this, but we'll find out.
I don't either, but let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I feel pretty good that it's Sleeping with the Enemy meets The Lazarus Effect.
Okay.
Now, have you seen either or both of those?
I've seen Sleeping with the Enemy, but Lazarus Effect.
Fair enough.
See that one.
So, that's reasonable.
Yeah, go for it.
So Sleeping with the Enemy, famous Julia Roberts movie that, I don't want to say sometimes she looks kind of like Hilary Swank, but maybe that's one thing these movies have in common. Separately, though, she's got this like super controlling husband. To the outside, people think they have some perfect marriage, but like her husband's like an abusive jerk. And just like in this movie, from the outside, people are like, oh, well, he seems fun. On the inside, he's an abusive jerk, in my opinion. Like, always being mean to her, picking on her. The post-death abuse.
There is definitely
right
patterns here. Yeah, there's signs.
Yeah, exactly. And so part of this is wishful thinking for me, in that in Sleeping with the Enemy, she fakes her own death to try to escape from her abusive husband.
Yep.
And in this one, the husband dies, so she escapes, but doesn't truly escape. Like, I think she does need to fake her own death in order to actually get out of this, right?
Yeah, not until not until he breaks up with her at the end.
Right, exactly.
Via letters.
Exactly. And I think that's probably most of it.
Yeah, that's pretty good. That's good.
Thanks. Now meets The Lazarus Effect, which is like a relatively new 2015 horror movie.
Another little sorry, this little step back here. Another little nod here, a little connection. Sleeping with the Enemy, also based on a novel of the same name. Like P.S. I Love You, based on a novel of the same name. There you go.
Nailed it. Thanks, pal.
No problem.
Wow. Huge.
Yeah, huge news. Sorry.
No, you're good. I appreciate it. All the help I can get. So now on the wishful thinking, on the even more wishful thinking end of things, The Lazarus Effect.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. I didn't see this film. Okay. Yeah.
You didn't? Okay. So yeah, it's like Olivia Wilde, Mark Duplass, other people.
Yep.
Donald Glover, I think.
Yep.
So they
Evan Peters too. Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Oh no, yes, I do. He's in stuff.
Yeah.
The Black Mirror guy and other things.
Yes.
So they discover they're a group of scientists, and they discover this like secret formula thing that brings people back to life. And so I wish in this movie they had that serum to bring him back to life, because in The Lazarus Effect, it's like it's not without consequences.
Yeah,
as we say here. The old monkey's paw for you. He would come back to life presumably and be a horrible rage monster with superhuman powers.
Yep.
That I feel like would make this movie way more interesting. Right? Like if all of a sudden Gerard Butler comes back to life and like starts throwing people around with his telekinesis and stuff.
I mean,
like,
he already had rage powers before he died.
Right.
So, I mean,
right. So, it's not that much of a stretch.
No, it's not.
Like imagine him like force choking Lisa Kudrow or something.
This would be like even more. Yeah.
Yes.
Enhance rage powers. Yeah. Okay.
Enhance. That's right. And then something, I don't know, like I'm imagining some kind of plot line of like when he did die, he actually went to hell, like in this movie, because he stinks.
Yeah.
And that's kind of it. What I wish this movie turned into was like a supernatural thriller.
So it's also crazy that Lazarus Effect was done on a budget of $3 million. What $30 million was spent on this movie? Like,
right? Like if they can make Lazarus Effect for $3 million,
for $3 million,
yeah.
You can make this movie for 10. I'll give you
also
10.
Equally star-studded.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're probably like maybe, at the time when this came out, well, 2015 now. These like Olivia Wilde, these are all,
she's huge.
Yeah, these are all known. Donald Glover, Evan Peters, he was Marvel movies, stuff like that, but
this is post-House for Olivia Wilde.
Jeez. $30 million. Would you?
Yeah.
You know what that is? Vacation to Ireland. That's what it was. $30 million.
You're right. I think I don't know where Lazarus Effect was shot, but
you don't need
it wasn't Ireland.
You don't need $30 million to make a rom-com.
That's right.
Yeah. That's okay. All right. We're on to you. Okay. That was good, man. I like that.
Thanks. Appreciate it.
Well done.
What do you got?
So I'm going to come out hot here. It's Die Hard with a Vengeance meets Ghost.
Okay. I don't know if I've seen Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Really?
Actually.
I would say it's the second best Die Hard out of the 6 that we have. I mean, there's only 2 that are good, and those are
it's like, well.
I mean, I have a soft spot for Die Hard 2, Die Harder. But
I like Die Hard 2 too.
Yeah, airport stuff. Airport stuff's fun.
Yeah.
All right, so Die Hard with a Vengeance. I'm going with that because one, takes place in New York. Two,
what a character. It's a character in the movie.
Yeah, I mean, it is.
We all know.
Yeah, the locations are characters. There's no.
Everyone knows we're big Woody Allen people here.
Definitely not. There's no Ireland connection, but they spend that entire movie kind of like running around New York, solving riddles and solving puzzles and having to do things that are told to them by someone else who, by the way, is kind of doing this because of his dead brother. Spoilers for Die Hard with a Vengeance.
Fair enough.
So we have a death connection here and someone sending someone else out on to, a scavenger hunt across the city, basically, right?
Yep. Yep. Well, that makes perfect sense.
Sent via letters. This movie ends in another country. Die Hard with a Vengeance. Spoilers. Ends in Canada. So that's that's another country, right? So
Canada's the Ireland of North America,
as they say, right? There's no snakes up there, so there you go.
That's right.
I think
no snakes, lots of grass.
Yeah. I think there's a little bit of wishful thinking there too, where I kind of wish that this movie, P.S. I Love You, would turn into like, oh, we have to do all these things to prevent, another bomb from going off.
The snakes from coming back.
Yeah, from the snakes from coming back, yes. You got to go do karaoke so the snakes don't come back.
Can you imagine? That would be amazing. All right, I'd watch that.
P.S. with a vengeance. Postscript with a vengeance. Meets Ghost. Now, Ghost is a little more grounded here. That is just the classic, my dead. I don't know if were they married in Ghost. I don't know. Whatever. They were
I don't think so. Were they?
I don't think so either. I think it was a boyfriend, but they were lovers. They were going to get married. They're going to have kids someday. But he dies, right? And he's still haunting her. She's an artist, right? In Ghost, so she's trying to figure out she's an artist here.
You're right.
Yeah, and basically just haunting her life, like this movie P.S. I Love You, right?
Yeah, and like ghost touching her and stuff.
Ghost touching her, which happens in this movie. Also, New York City. Also takes place in New York City, right?
Yeah, I mean, I think I don't want to say this movie is the same as Ghost, but they're actually the same movie.
It's pretty close. I think in Ghost, Patrick the Swayze there, he died. He gets murdered in an alley. I think he gets shot.
That's right.
Much like how the Joker starts. But I also think that in P.S. I Love You, I think that he actually got shot in an alley. I think the brain tumor thing was just a cover up. Like, who wants to say like, oh, he got murdered by some thugs in an alley? Like,
you're right.
You just go with like brain tumor, and no one's like, ooh, no one's asking questions like, oh, the cops find him. It's like, nah, brain tumor.
One guy just goes, nice. That's a good part of this movie.
Yeah, brain tumor, nice.
Yeah, you're right though. I forgot Ghost was actually interesting and had a plot. So.
Yes.
Right, my bad.
Yes, this does
not. There's a murder mystery involved. Yeah.
Yep. Oh man. Okay, so that's it. Good job. I think I don't know.
Yeah, we did great.
I'm excited about that.
Me too. We're on fire this movie. I feel like.
I think so too.
Real punchy and trailer trash and
all punched up. Let's punch it. All right. Punch it, Chewy. All right. So fast facts. You want me to fast fact
me, Daddy?
You got it. Still is never not uncomfortable. All right. So we mentioned earlier, this is based on a novel of the same name by Irish author Cecilia Ahern.
That's right.
It was her debut novel in 2004.
Yep.
It claimed the number one bestseller status in Ireland, Britain, United States, Germany, and the Netherlands. Yeah. And it was number one in Ireland for 19 weeks.
You want me to spoil a little bit of my fast facts for later for you?
Well, I don't know.
Well, I was just going to say, you know how old she was when that book came out?
65.
No.
24.
21.
Whoa. So she basically wrote, it's about her. It's probably about her losing someone.
No.
Oh.
Well, she says we'll get there. That part I'll save for later, but she was so young. I was mostly just saying it to make you furious about having a super successful novel when you're like basically a teenager.
Oh my God. I feel so good. Now I feel terrible. I don't know how I feel.
Exactly.
All right. So, well, I'm going to just
aiming for.
I'm going to give like a little bit of like the book stuff here, right? So like the plot is pretty much, it's the same. It's the same thing. Yeah. And the only difference is that in the book, it takes place entirely in Dublin. So that's pretty much it. And then she sends a character on a journey of, rediscovery, right?
Yep.
This book, 512 pages, paperback. So I'm going to say
that's long.
Too long.
Way too long.
Yeah. Just like this movie. So
I couldn't agree more.
2 hours and 6 minutes. Doesn't need to be that long. 512 pages, paperback, 655 hardcover. What do you, is that in like 14 font? Like don't need it. But going further, the reception of this book though. So this is like one of those books where it comes out and like the writing's pretty terrible, but it just catches people's interest and they fall in love with it, but the critics absolutely hate it.
Yep.
So a lot of it drew some negative reception. I don't even know what this radio whatever. They gave it 3 out of 5 stars, stating that Ahern's book is funny and emotional, but also criticizing that they criticized the book's message of getting over death of a loved one by quote unquote getting drunk and shopping.
She was 21. Like
she's 21. It's also like let people. I'm going to criticize this criticism here because you know what? Let people do whatever they need to do to go. If it's get drunk and go shopping and get over it, go get drunk, get shopping, go shopping.
Yeah. So, don't yuck anyone's death, young.
Yeah, and then the Guardian also wrote a satirical review though, which lampooned Ahern's shallow characterization and melodramatic plot.
That's fun.
Yeah, the Clare County. Where is that? Clare County. Who is this?
Ireland.
Like, oh yeah, probably. Clare County Library called the book overhyped, predictable, and full of stock characters. But lastly, an easy read and a nice holiday read.
Nice.
Delivery is a little bit amateurish. I mean, she's 21.
Right.
You know,
it's her first book at 21. I'll make you feel worse.
Well, I mean,
he's 4 months younger than you.
Oh, how many books?
She was born in 81 also.
I hate my life.
So what were you doing at 21? We talked about this in Trailer Trash, right?
I was getting drunk, but not shopping, minus the shopping. That's what I was doing at 21.
That's right. That's right. Not writing critically panned, but wildly successful books.
That got turned into a movie with Hilary Swank. 500 pages of maple syrup sap there. Yeah.
Yeah. Mind boggling.
Wow.
I love it.
And how many books she's got?
Like a handful, like not that many.
Okay. Well, since 2004, she's got a couple. Okay.
Yeah. She's definitely got a few. She sold 25 million copies of her books.
Oh, total? Globally. All of them?
Total. All of her books.
I think I'm having a heart thing going on here. We just got started and you dropped this on me.
I know. I'm sorry.
Okay. Do you want to give your book stuff?
I didn't mean to. I didn't know.
I didn't know
before I watched the special features. No. We'll get to that later.
Okay. Fast facts are becoming medium-spaced facts.
That's right. Yeah, you can go back to your work.
I cut out a lot of garbage here too for you, so you should be thanking me and not making me feel bad for the next 2 hours.
All right, I appreciate it. I won't.
Making me rethink my decisions that I can't go back and change. Thanks, man.
Your book's come out soon. It's going to be great. Listeners, get excited. As we record this,
tens of copies will be sold.
We're like a month out probably from
spring 2023. Get it.
Storm in the shelves.
Yeah, probably about a month. Yeah. Start them in the shelves.
And a bookstore near you.
It won't be available in Ireland unless you order. Anyways.
Yeah.
All right. So
explicitly not available in Ireland.
Specifically, I'm going to hand deliver some copies. All right. So during the filming of the strip sequence in the beginning there, Gerard Butler's suspenders hit Hilary Swank on the forehead. She received a cut and had to be taken to a hospital where she received several stitches. This isn't trivia. It's just so stupid. I had to read it.
Oh, that's trivia.
So, and when, because in the scene that wasn't in there, obviously there was just him and he hit himself in the face with a suspender. So, all right.
Yeah, I would have appreciated it if they continued that fast fact with that's how they filmed the hospital scene.
And that's why they decided to make a hospital scene. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's why she was so genuinely mad at him.
Behind the scenes. According to the Christmas 2006 issue, in case you want to go back and check it out, of People magazine. It's like an issue that you go to any grandma's house and like, oh yeah, 2006 Christmas. I got that one. Next to Town and Country. JD Morgan there, Jeffrey D. Morgan had to learn, I call him JD, had to learn to play the guitar for his part in the film in a very short time.
Okay.
His guitar instructor, all this doesn't make any sense to me. His guitar instructor was Nancy Wilson of the band Heart.
What? What? How?
Son of a. And why? He played the guitar. He was on stage, just
For like 1 second.
Yeah, it's you can fake this. You're an actor.
Absolutely.
You
There's a
don't need
backup
to-
guitarist on stage with him. Like,
It's like,
you don't have to do anything.
yeah, just do close-ups of his head and the top of the guitar. You don't need to do wide shot. And if you do, just show him one chord. Come on, this is easy.
Yeah. A lot of ways around this.
That's where the 30 million went. Guitar lessons.
Guitar lessons with Nancy Wilson. He was like, "Oh, you know what? I really want to learn how to play guitar." And they're like, "Okay, well, we'll call Guitar Center. They do lessons." And he's like, "No, I have to learn from Nancy Wilson.
I have to learn from her." So Morgan was so thrilled to take lessons from her because, in his own words, quote, obviously because they're in his own words, "I had such a crush on her as a kid."
Oh, I'm sure that made her feel great.
Yeah, this is awkward.
What a dink, Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
All right, moving on because we're moving fast now. This is on point. Speaking of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, but tangentially here, Gerard Butler there later had to apologize to Irish fans, in particular for his poor attempt at an Irish accent.
Good.
Correct. And two, I feel like this is a troll trivia because I feel like this was also in the soccer movie when we did. P.S. I miss soccer. I feel like
accent in that one too.
Yeah, and I think someone had wrote the same trivia fast fact in that one.
Oh, you're probably right. And you know what? I wouldn't be surprised if he's apologizing left and right because
wasn't he playing? Was he playing for Ireland? He wasn't playing for Scotland, right? Because he was right. He was a professional soccer player.
No, he's a Scottish football player.
Oh, he was okay. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
I was gonna say, I thought he was just doing his own voice in that one.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. He still probably had to apologize.
I'm sorry I sound like this.
But you know who didn't apologize for doing an Irish accent was Jeffrey D. Morgan because his was atrocious. Like
also bad. Yeah.
It sounded like an American doing a really like. Why didn't he take Irish accent skills or
from
lessons?
Nancy Wilson?
Yeah, right. Like skip the guitar lessons. How about you learn how to do an Irish accent from someone who knows how to do an Irish accent?
Yeah. Why didn't he at least get some tips from Gerard Butler?
Yeah.
Gerard
Butler.
I keep saying it the American way. God, so stupid.
Yeah. Jerry. We'll go with Jerry. Okay. Even though the plot, so this doesn't make any sense at all. But even though the plot of the film is quite different from the novel, it's not at all. It's the same. Except
it's pretty different.
Oh, is it really?
I'll get to it in the special features.
Oh, because I was reading a quick synopsis of the plot of it. And I was like, this is the same.
It's more or less the same, but like different enough.
Quite different. Okay. It takes place in Dublin. They did say all the letters are identical.
Oh, good.
So there you go. Fast facts. Yeah. Holly, played by Hilary Swank, she designs Jerry's, aka Jerry, his urn at his request.
That's right.
Though not mentioned, she makes it to match his guitar case, which can be seen in the corner of their apartment.
Yeah, we noticed that.
I didn't. I mean, I noticed.
It
looked like it was, musician, leather and.
Right. I didn't. To be fair, I didn't notice either. But Thais was like, "Oh, it's to match the guitar case," and I was like, "Oh yeah, of course." So
makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we did cover this one. Where the book is set entirely in Ireland, part of the film's action is moved to New York City. Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, that's part of like why it's so different. Like, because the whole plot of going between New York and Ireland is not in the book. Like that's part of what makes it so different.
Yeah,
that was like half the plot of the movie.
I guess. Yeah, but I mean, in the book, they're in Ireland. It's like, oh, go visit my parents. Probably still. It's just you.
Yeah.
So, I don't know if that's really
New York's a character, Russ. So it's a pretty big deal.
Quite plot different. Okay, whatever. Anyways. Mincing it. All right, so this is at least the second movie where Harry Connick Jr. gets called by another man's name by his love interest while sitting down for a meal.
What?
The other one being Hope Floats.
What is that? That's not even a movie.
I think so. Can you imagine that though? Like that's what you're known for is being
kind of funny.
Called another man's name. Right.
I don't think that's what is that what he's known for?
No, not at all. He's a musician. He plays does he play the saxophone or something? Harry Connick Jr.
I was just looking it up because I was like, who the hell even is this guy?
Yeah, you'll find his CDs on every like mom's CD shelf, and I do say CD because they do have CDs.
Right.
Probably.
It's his best-selling album in the United States is his Christmas album.
Yeah.
When
He's
My
like
Heart Finds Christmas.
It's a big Christmas guy, right? Like what's his face? Dave Blue Blay there, whatever his name is.
Oh, that guy's not a Christmas guy.
Yeah, of course.
Michael Bublé. No,
Michael
he's like
Bublé.
an everything guy. Yeah.
Well, I mean, Christmas songs usually what, right? Albums or
No. like regular.
Yeah. Okay. I think Harry
But
Connick Jr.
right,
was
this guy's kind of like that. No, it's a good point.
It's same category, right?
Yep.
That's it. Those are your fast facts for this film.
Thanks, pal. I appreciate it.
No problem.
You did great.
I'm here for you.
I'm so happy. I'm so excited.
Okay, so should we get into this?
Yeah. Well,
get into the tear down. Arr.
I'm going to derail us immediately.
Okay.
But yeah, you're right. The tear down.
Yeah, it's fine.
Going back to pirate accents.
Yeah, it's fine.
So listeners might recall from Trailer Trash, I think I said I was going to watch this on DVD because Thais owns the DVD, one of her favorite movies.
Mm-hmm.
And so we tossed it in, and just for kicks, I was like, I want to watch the previews. Well, take me back to 2007.
To a not a better time, a different time.
A different time. That's right. So we opened, Warner Brothers logo, sure.
Mm-hmm.
But then we've got like a really long about pirating movies.
You got the FBI warning, the notice, right?
No.
Really?
Weirder. Yeah, it was like a really weird black and white old-timey film made to look like an old-timey film about not pirating movies.
What?
Like it was like 3 minutes probably of like it's like some guy being like, well, sweetheart, like you shouldn't pirate movies because that means the actors don't get money because they're in the movie studio is no one wants to make good movies anymore because we pirated them. And like it's really bizarre.
I also haven't watched a DVD in 13 years, 10 years, 12 years.
Fair. Why would you?
Yeah.
We have technology to avoid that now. So then followed into a movie about an actual pirate, Fool's Gold.
Oh,
and I was like, oh, weird. But I also kind of was like, I kind of want to watch that now. Like, I've never heard of this Fool's Gold movie.
Wait, isn't that with Matthew McConaughey and Kate Hudson?
Yeah. And I was like, oh, now I kind of want to watch that. Took me a second. I'm bad at.
Yeah, no, it's okay. It's okay. I figured. Okay.
But yeah, I was like, oh, this looks more interesting about like a boat and doing weird marriage pirate stuff. I don't know. Cool. Then a preview for Mama's Boy, which I also forgot is like the most of its era movie of all time.
What was
the
that
2007 one with Napoleon Dynamite, John Hader.
Oh, man.
Right? Like right when he was at his the peak of his powers. And Diane Keaton's in that one. Jeff Daniels is in it as like his stepdad. Yeah. It's a good one. 2007 is what you're looking for. Mama's Boy, by the way.
Yeah. If you punch him out,
Anna Faris. Anna Faris.
Yep, Anna Faris.
Yeah. Anyway, great flick. Then last preview is for Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants 2.
Yeah.
Also an Alcon movie, so firmly enemy of the pod.
Yes. And the other two movies that they did that we have done, Point Break remake.
Oh, nice. Okay.
That's why they're big enemy. And more recently, if you're listening recently, Transcendence.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I would also throw them in enemy of the pod bucket because I went to their website and they still have like a Flash like animation on the top, like on their website. Like who still uses Flash? Like
I love it. Did it even load on your computer?
I actually didn't. Like all it did was like in the top left corner, it just said, "Do you need Flash Player 9?" I'm here. Flash Player 9?
Yeah. Like I was like, what? Chrome doesn't support Flash at all. Like, it hasn't in 5 years at least.
Like, grow up, enemy of the pod, Alcon.
Sick. I like that.
I won't pay attention to your website.
I don't know it. Do you know much about the Traveling Pants movies?
No, but I do know about them because I use one for my pitches for a movie.
Oh, that's right. I forgot
because it's a pair of pants that the four friends share because they fit so well or something, and they use it as like kind of a way to get through some emotional thing. Blah blah blah.
I don't think I got that even last time you pitched it to me.
Okay,
so I had Thais explain the Traveling Pants to me again, and I was like, "That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard." I was like, "What? How do they make several of these?"
Yeah, 2 of them. Yeah.
Are there only 2? I thought there was a third one.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, how many pairs of pants can you have?
Only one. There's the one.
And they keep you. Oh, that's gross. Come on.
Oh yeah. Wait, there's a. Oh wait, no. There's a third book. maybe not a third movie.
Yeah.
It's called The Third Summer of the Sisterhood. Girls in Pants is the name of the book. Girls in Pants.
What is happening?
I love it.
What's happening with this planet? I know that sold 1 million copies too, easily.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. Probably like 25 million on its own.
Man. Okay.
Amazing. Anyway. Yeah. So yeah, those are my previews. Then the movie started, which I was like, not like classic DVD days. I was playing it on the PlayStation. I just kind of left it for a few minutes while I was still laughing about the traveling pants. And the movie just started on its own. I was like, I didn't even push the play thing. Come on.
Come on, man.
You can't make me watch this. You can.
You can. And they did. Yeah, and then well, Warner Brothers is in there too, but yeah, whatever. So oddly, not the opening credits, but the opening scene to the movie, because the opening credits actually happen after the scene. You get the acoustic rom-com music, right? And then we get Jerry and Holly just walking down aggressively through New York City. Clearly looks like an argument's going on here. There's some distance between them, right?
Yep.
And they get to their apartment. It's mostly Jerry just trying to figure out, what she's mad about, what he's done now, right?
Yeah.
It's all too real. It's all too real.
There were a couple of quick studios while this was happening. Yeah. I was like,
yeah,
who's Wendy Iverman or whatever in Governor Park Films and something or other.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of weird things popped up.
Yeah, just extra people throwing some money in, throwing their money in the hat. So I didn't look any of them up, but
money laundering, perhaps.
$30 million.
I think so.
Come on, like we all know that those Ireland shots, upstate New York.
Yeah, exactly. But I'm
green screen.
I kind of thought, like, at first, I will get to it, but in that when they're doing the flashback to when they first met, I was like, this looks like a green screen. This is like the worst filming I've ever seen.
It did look a little out of place. So,
yeah.
But
anyway, I was immediately calling this out as like, look at this. He's already a threatening husband. Like he's like, he seems like a jerk.
Yes.
And Ty's like, no, it's romantic. And I was like he's like barely apologizing. He's like, I'm sorry for the thing that I did. I don't know what the thing was, but you got to tell me
something or nothing or something nothing
arse.
Now give me that booty. Like, what, dude? Come on.
Yeah, it's like
because that's actually kind of how it plays out.
Right? Yeah, it's pretty messed up.
So they're in their sweet apartment right now. They go upstairs. They're in their sweet apartment here, and but it's like the classic argument of like people saying things but no one saying anything, right?
Yep.
And then it comes up like the baby talk, right? That's kind of what really gets it going because she's pissed because he said to her mom that she didn't want to have kids, right?
Yep, that's right. Then there's a bit about they're talking about making 6.25% interest on the savings account. Ludicrous. That's outrageous. 2007, simpler times.
What? Oh my God. And then there's, I mean, a lot of this is, so it's a day in the life of them, showing them arguing basically. And it's a real argument basically. I don't know. It just feels like, I think every couple's been through this argument. So it's kind of annoying. So like, I don't want to watch this for this.
It feels like a real argument, but it also feels kind of like an Aaron Sorkin bit.
I was going to say, I actually felt like a play to me.
Yes.
Right. Very, I agree. I 100% agree.
Well, and I've got a question about it in a little bit, but like maybe it was a play. Like maybe they were doing a bit for part of this. Because
interesting.
I will get to it later because I was confused again.
Yeah, because so I mean they're just going through this. It's just an argument. I don't know. Like there's not much else to say other than there's just a ton of exposition dropped here too, right? And like of course all this stuff comes up about how like she's bouncing between jobs. He wants to start his own business with his buddy. He took out a business loan. Yeah. We learned that he doesn't get along with the mom. They mentioned cars, so I'm guessing they want to start a limo service.
Yep.
We learn everything about it. She's a planner. He's kind of off the cuff guy, musician.
Yeah. Well, they have a limo company that's established. Yeah. They already do, I guess. But they were arguing about the loan that he took out.
Oh, he took out. Yeah. Yes. Right.
Yeah, to do the limo company. And she's a real estate agent on the side. Right. They argue about whatever. You can't sing without making dogs bark. He's picking on her voice. Like she's taking a lot of abuse from him. In my opinion.
and then he just snaps and just like loses his shit.
Yeah, it gets terrifying.
He gets super angry. It's like, oh no, Jerry,
yelling at her.
It's like, no, Jerry,
do you want a child or not? Like literally, that's the line. It's really scary. I thought
It's so
he's like, oh, romantic.
Like that's
like,
not what.
Do you want me to shout at you? I don't want to do that,
but I will if I have to.
Be you like a child or not?
Do you love me? For you to love me, I'll yell at you.
Kiss my arse.
And I was like, oh, I wasn't expecting. Arse. Yeah. Then it shifts to the old, you don't want me to be here. I don't want to be here. Do you want me to be here? Argument. And then he leaves. And then seconds later, she walks out and he comes out and they make up and it's more exposition. Like they got married when they were 19. And then this is the beginning. This was like the beginning of in this movie. I think every guy ends a scene or a conversation that like you feel like it's going somewhere else and they say something that just makes it completely awkward. Yeah. And he's just basically like, oh, don't worry, I'm not your dad. They're like sitting here like hugging and like making up on the cat, like on the bed, like after they just made out for a bit. And he's like, don't worry about it. I'm not your dad. And he literally says, I'm not going anywhere. He's like, I think, and it's like, I think you are.
It's like kind of like a weird, like non sequitur too. Like he's just like, I'm not your dad. And then like out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Just like, we don't know anything about the dad.
Yeah. It feels like they were like, oh, we got to mention the dad here just so we can set that up for her to feel this extra loss here. But it's like,
right.
It's a poorly timed comment, man.
Do you? Yeah. It was so weird. And then like, she was 19 when they got married bit. Like, I don't know, that it like felt icky when they said it. Because I was like, how old was he? Like they didn't specify that.
He was later. He had to been
5 years older, I think.
Yeah, right. Yeah, because he was 35 and she was turning 30 later, right? So like 5-6 years, whatever.
24.
Yes.
Like when you're 24, don't marry a 19-year-old. In my opinion.
That's
gross.
Yeah.
That's a teenager.
5-6 years age difference is different once you get past like 25.
Right, exactly. When you're in your 30s and 40s, like it's totally different than if you're like 19 to 24 is child. There's a lot that happens.
You're still a child.
Yeah.
Oh my God. So then it just cuts to them getting ready for bed, but the sun was out. I don't know. It was very strange. It looked like the sun was out. Like it was morning, but whatever.
It did seem very bright. In their giant apartment.
So they were, oh yeah. And it was the other thing too. They part of the argument, they were talking about like, how do we have a baby and fit a baby in this apartment? Like that apartment is,
it's like a 1,500 square foot apartment.
It's fucking huge.
Yeah. This is from the trailer, basically. This whole
this whole next part. It's just from a trailer, him doing the stomach thing, and then this is the only difference. And then like the suspenders snap and hit him in the eye. And I was like, maybe this is how he dies from some infection that gets in his eye.
Oh, that's kind of what I was hoping. Yeah. Then she makes a weird joke about being in love with a leprechaun, and I was like, ugh.
Yeah. And she stubs her toe and then gets into some foot kissing stuff. Like this whole opening scene is just, it's real life. It's like kind of real life stuff.
Well,
it's like
it's real life, but like the gross version. Like I don't like because he keeps being like, oh, that's a good girl. Yeah. And she's like, oh, I'll get my next husband to put a light in this room so I don't stub my toe anymore. And you're like, what? And then they end this scene. He just says, you crazy bitch, pain in my hole. What is happening?
Yeah.
Like
this is
I hate this movie.
This is 10 minutes in. 10 minutes in. We got an hour.
This isn't romantic. Yeah.
No, this movie is pretty depressing all around.
Yeah.
And then
crazy bitch pain in me hole. That should have been the quote.
You crazy bitch pain in me hole. Arr.
Arr.
Then it's opening credits, right?
Yep.
And the opening credits, it feels like a 90s music video or like the opening to Friends or something. Shots in New York City, like the
Polaroids,
Polaroids, upstate New York or Ireland, whichever it is. And then we get the title card.
Winter.
Yep.
Cut to Kathy Bates, who is the mother, apparently.
Yeah, owns a bar, an Irish pub there, I guess, in
New
York City, Brooklyn, wherever they are. She's setting up, and Harry Connick Jr. He's a bartender, Daniel there.
Yeah,
and then she's like, "Oh, tell so and so bring the cars around, John, whatever." And it's clearly like at first, like, "Oh, they're setting up for something." Like, yeah, this is for the death service.
Mm-hmm.
So gross. Yeah, and then friends show up, right? Blah blah blah. And then it's basically just the death service here, right? What is it? Funeral? No.
Yeah, it's a funeral, I guess. I think it's the funeral.
Yeah, funeral. I forget which.
I think they just kind of combine them together. The wake's usually where you like view the body ahead of time.
Oh yeah. I think death service sounds better. We'll do death service. So they're having a death service in the bar, serving death. And then boom, there you go. It's a photo of Jerry dead. It wasn't a photo of him dead. It was just a photo of his face. He's dead. Yeah. And like a stack of shot glasses. And then I didn't realize that box was the urn.
Yeah. Nice. You're like, what's this box for?
Yeah. And I see you recognize the song. I couldn't place. I knew the song. Couldn't remember the band. Yeah. I had to look it up. But
so there's like I don't know if that guy was a priest or what, but he's like giving some kind of speech. He's like, oh, he's a unique young man. And he, this is his favorite song. And it's Fairy Tale of New York by the Pogues, which like I get that's like a classic song, but also like hasn't aged particularly well.
No, and for some reason they played some of the parts in it that haven't aged well, and they cut to Kathy Bates like,
yes. I was like that. Yeah, they drop an F-bomb in there.
The other F-bomb.
Yeah, the kind that we don't say on the podcast. I'll say fuck all day. Yes. Like dropping slurs and like singing along with it, which you're like, it's 2007. The song came out in 88. You're like, sure.
Yeah.
But like, no, you don't have to put that in the movie. Just like,
there's other parts of that song you could have just put for them to sing to. Like
so many other parts.
It's a very recognizable song. Everyone knows it, but you don't have to play. I don't know why you're playing those parts. Let's do nothing.
Right.
So.
Right. Yeah. And like everyone's like singing along with, and you're right. Kathy Bates like gives a nice side eye. And I was like, this is the correct reaction.
Unless it was his favorite song, they played those parts. And then it's to show that why him and the mom didn't get along. Like they literally cut to Kathy Bates' face and she's like, this is gross, to kind of give that like.
I hope it's because they said the F word.
I mean, it's a stretch of a setup, but I mean, it's to set up the big quote unquote twist at the end.
I hope, here's how I'm writing it in my head. Kathy Bates had never heard that
song. And they played it on set.
They just play it on set and she's like, oh.
It's 2007. I don't know why she's Southern, but
I do declare.
Fried green tomatoes. I do declare. Ooh. That is not a word I like.
Mm-hmm. And then some blonde lady shows up who we come to find out is her sister later, but I don't know who that was.
She shows up, they do shots, and then Jerry's in the box.
Oh wait, Kathy Bates was born in Memphis, so we can do Southern accents for Kathy Bates.
Nice.
I was just like, is she from the South?
She might be.
I was like, she definitely doesn't have an accent, but
she looks like she could be from the South.
She's from Memphis.
Okay. All right, so later on, we're still at the bar, post death service.
She looks like she could be from the South. Sorry. That took me a second to register. She looks like Paula Deen. Like,
I think she actually likes the F word, Paula Deen, if I remember correctly.
No. Oh God, no.
Yeah, she's not.
You're right. I'm not lumping Kathy Bates with Paula Deen.
No, do not.
Paula Deen stinks. Kathy Bates rips.
Yes, correct. So we're still at the bar. We're getting through this. So we're at the we're still at the bar there, getting drunk, and this whole scene is just Lisa Kudrow hitting on dudes,
dude after dude,
dude after dude. She's got her questions here: Are you single? Are you gay? Do you work?
Yep.
The first two doesn't work out. Third one kind of works out, but not really.
Mm-hmm.
And then all we learned from the scene is pretty much that Jerry's parents are in Ireland, and they couldn't make it, or they didn't show up, and they thought it was weird, right?
Yeah. Which is weird, to be fair,
and to say like it's their only son's service. So,
yep.
And then we get the Harry Connick Jr. Daniel Lair being like, "So sorry for your loss. How'd he die?" Like, ooh.
Yeah, what?
You're an idiot.
Yeah, just brain tumor. Nice.
Yeah, I know all these moments, like death moments and going to funerals and stuff, is awkward, but just say sorry for your loss.
Yeah.
Don't ask them how they're doing. Don't ask them how the person died. Just be like, sorry for your loss.
I think this is the first movie I've seen him in, and because I know he's more of a musician, I guess, than an actor. But
clearly,
I hated every scene with him in it, and it felt like we'll get to it because it gets worse.
Yes.
Like all of his lines sound like he's doing a stand-up bit. Like he's doing like a type 5 at a club. And you're like, what?
Yeah. No, yeah. I know he's been in a bunch of movies here and there too, probably a bunch of rom-com stuff like that. I don't know if this was like his first. I don't think it was. I don't know if it was his first, but man,
horrible.
Yeah, it was brutal. All the scenes, like I hope he doesn't become the love interest because we're going to have to see more of him, but we still do anyways. And it's like fucking.
It felt like he was like doing like a Mitch Hedberg impression, like a bad Mitch Hedberg impression. It's like, brain tumor, nice. I buried my dog in a stereo box. And you're like, what?
You know what is not nice? Burying your dog in a stereo box.
I used to bury dogs in a stereo box. I still do, but I used to too.
So he's awkward. He's awkward in every scene he's in, and he's not a good actor in this. So
yeah. Meanwhile, also, we just wanted to call it out. The sister is a wild character.
She shows up.
Her.
And it's like, how is this your sister? Like, I get we have the weird sibling or something like that, but I mean, this is so out of left field. Like, she shows up late, comes in with like the pink bag, and like,
you make a ravishing widow, sis.
Yeah, like
this fucked up.
Like what? Like, cut this character entirely. She does nothing for the rest of the movie. She shows up in 2 scenes. It's like, get rid of her.
Yes.
We'll leave that for our new segment in part 2. So stay tuned for listening to that. So, but yeah, why get out of here? So, anyways, that's pretty much it. And then we learn of all the characters there. Oh, we also learned Gina Gershon. She's got a husband, John, who was Jerry's buddy, who opened up the limo service with him.
Right.
Yep. Doesn't matter that much, but it kind of explains why he's around and why they get limos everywhere.
That's kind of like leads into the eulogy thing, right? Where he's like telling the story of the time they went to the bank to get the loan.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And then the only other key part of that, I think, is Kathy Bates is like, you can stay with me, you know? She's like, no, I think I want to go home. And she's like, well, you know, this is home too. You're like, oof.
Yikes.
Been there. Sorry, Mom.
Mm-hmm. All right, so then we
apartment.
Yeah, back to the apartment. Holly's apartment. Holly and her ex dead husband's apartment. And she just comes in with his urn, which is like a magical box from Ireland. It's just massive. And then it's just her being sad and her calling the limo service answering machine just to hear his voice, right?
Yeah, it's pretty depressing. I think this is the first time Thais started crying. I didn't note it because I was like, she can't cry that much in this movie, but she does. So
2 hours long, man. There's probably a tear every 15 minutes, you know?
Yeah, actually, might have even been crying in the opening. I don't remember, but this is maybe the first.
You should have tracked how many times she cried. We could have done like a tears per minute kind of like.
I did, starting, I think, at crying number 3. I think that's where I started calling it out.
So this movie offers X tears per minute.
There's a cry counter. Yeah,
we can quantify the rom-com, right? And these sappy movies by tears per minute. So
yeah, how many ounces of tears?
I mean, that's the real metric that these movie studios should be tracking, like tears per minute.
Yeah, Thais, I think, likes me less after watching the movie last night because she thinks I'm a monster because I didn't cry during this movie. I said, fair enough. I guess
I almost cried at the bad Irish accents.
I cried at the delivery of Harry Connick Jr.'s lines.
I cried at the waste of alcohol when she's pouring all the booze and missing the glass.
Yep.
All right, so and another note that the limo company is named after the county that the village that he is from in Ireland, Enniskerry.
Yeah, something like that. I couldn't spell it or pronounce it, so I didn't write it.
So we're still in the apartment, and basically just kind of like a fast forward of like we're hearing messages. This is a thing that they do 3 or 4 times in this movie of playing voicemail messages from characters just to like let you know time has passed. She's been alone. It's been weeks, and she's
been a week. It's been over a week so far.
Oh, I thought she said weeks. Okay, just a week. Okay.
Yeah, it's been over a week. What are you doing?
Yeah,
we're worried.
Yeah, she's sappy watching black and white movies, replaying. She's replaying that argument from the beginning of the movie over in her head. So
yeah, and one of the things that like bothered me was like how quickly all of this happens. Like like spoilers for the end. The whole movie takes place over the course of a year, and you're like, over the course of this year, she's like, well, I guess I'm getting back on the dick horse. And you're like, okay, cool, like, which is fine. Like, do what you got to do, but also like she seems like she's completely moved on from her marriage of 9 years.
Yeah.
I don't know. It feels weird to me.
I don't know. Quick. Yeah, I don't know. You get a year, and it's like, all right, come on, move on.
What?
That's basically what this movie said, was like, yeah, you get a year, and you get to move on.
Yeah. Then it's like, don't waste your life.
Yeah. Shedding those tears for a minute. Okay, so then we're still in the apartment. Yeah, she's a bit of a mess. And then this is when it turns into kind of a Sixth Sense moment where she's about to go to sleep. She wakes up, and I was like, oh, now this is getting interesting. And there he is on the couch playing his guitar, Jerry, right?
Yeah. Well, so all right. So this is right before this. She goes for that walk. Remember? After she's like, "Why can't I be Bette Davis?" Then she goes for the walk, and while they're out, and while she's out in the street, that's when this is why I was confused, because there's voices that she hears that are like strangers that are like doing this, delivering the same argument.
Yes.
Right?
And yeah.
Was pieces of that a play?
She is going off the deep end.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. That's what it is, right?
Well, because see, like I think I would have gotten it better if it was her and Jerry again, like repeating that argument rather than strangers.
Strangers,
like, yeah. Anyway, you're okay. That's the part that I was talking about earlier.
Yeah. Maybe it's just I don't know. It's a common argument everyone has, that type of thing. So why fret over it? Maybe
it's very specific.
So she's hanging out with Jerry in the living room, and it's all in her mind. And then she circles the couch, and he's gone. She lays and sleeps on the couch. So, just to show she's getting a little unstable. I was kind of hoping they really leaned into it and just went all in. And she's like, she's the one writing the letters to herself, and like her friend's like, this is crazy. And then it turns a single white female because she has a roommate because she needs to pay the bills because she
save it for part 2. Yeah,
shit, sorry.
No, you're right. You're totally right. Important note here. This is another time when he's encouraging her to quit her job, because that's when she's like, I had a terrible dream. I don't want to go back to work. And he's like, don't.
It's like, this is the worst ghost ever. Like, I have bills to pay. You don't, ghost.
Yeah. He's like, quit your job. Stay with me. I'm dead. Stay with me and dead.
Stay with me. Stay with me.
Yeah. And then he's like, plans never work out anyway. And you're like, I guess that's a thing.
And then we are still in the
3 weeks
apartment,
later.
Right? Yeah. Oh, was there a title card for that?
Yep. 3 weeks later. And I hate all the title cards are in like weird
Comic
Sans. Like, what is this font?
Supposed to look like it's handwritten, I think.
Oh, okay.
Because they're all
like the DVD.
Okay. Yeah. Yep. Okay. Leaning heavy into the handwritten stuff. So
yeah. And so then there's like, there's more old movies and takeout boxes, and there's like a weird shrine.
She's a total mess, right?
Yeah, she's a total mess. And then Kathy Bates shows up.
What's going on in here?
She's busting the door. What's going on here?
Oh yeah. Hands her some Kool-Aid and fucking fire it up. 30th birthday.
Kind of. She does show up with balloons.
She shows up with balloons in the gang, and she's like, all right, team, we're taking over this place. And they come in, and she's a mess, and they're like, all right, enough of this. Let's do this thing, right?
Yeah. The sister has a couple beauty lines like, are you drunk? Do you want to be?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I do. Yeah.
30th birthday, blah, blah, whatever happens. They pick on her because she smells bad.
Yep. Which is, that's completely fair. And then we get to delivery, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a bit before that, but it's fine. Like, the nails for their friend. Like that's kind of I don't know, not super important, but she's like, I'm like the Miss Haversham from the Lower East Side. And they're like, no, you can't just like check into a insane asylum. Like, you have to be rich to be insane. And she's like, I don't want to go to work. I don't want to do anything. It feels very real.
Yep.
And that's when the delivery arrives. Sorry, but like, that's all right. There were a couple of bits in there they reference later.
Absolutely. Standard. Yeah, setups for not just to have a sham, whatever. So they're all hanging out in the living room, and a delivery comes. It's the cake, right? The happy birthday cake.
They tricked us in the trailer.
Yes, they did.
Associated the trick with the cake with the leprechaun.
And it says, love Jerry, right?
Yep.
And she's like, what's going on here? John, did you do this? And he's like, no, man, I didn't do this. This is fucked up.
Classic prank.
Yeah, classic. Send a birthday cake from your friend's dead husband.
If I had a nickel, my man.
Keep that one in mind. Keep that one in the back pocket, huh? You trying to get over something? That's fuck with friends. That's fun.
Yeah, that is a good prank.
So yeah, and then there's a recorder, and she's still like, "What's going on?" And she plays.
Play me.
Play me. Want to play a game? And then she plays the recorder, and it's Jerry, right, telling her about the letters. Basically, give us the whole plot.
Yep, and everyone is just as astonished as they were in the trailer.
I love that they cut their face like, what? This is crazy town, right?
Yep. Exactly. And it's like, yeah, still like very abusive and controlling, in my opinion. He's like, oh, like, I hate that I'm not there to see you turn 30, like making her birthday about him.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, you have to do what I say now.
Do what I say.
What? He's like, yeah, get dolled up, go have a party, like go do whatever you want.
Yeah. Till death do his part. And I'm not dead yet. I'm right here with you every night in the couch. Arr, like a dead pirate walking the plank.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, sure.
And
so they're all sitting around being like, what? And no one says like, no one like closes the cake and like takes the other room, is like, all right, can we all talk about how weird this is? And like they cut the scenes of like Kathy Bates in like the kitchen, just giving that look of like, someone just say it. This is weird. Like this is very strange. This shouldn't be happening.
Yep.
And then they're like, and then it's weird, like where he is saying things because he knows everyone's going to be in the room with her because it's her 30th birthday. Yep. And he starts telling people in the room to do things via the recorder, and like, oh yeah, we go make plans. Like, you don't have smartphones. What plans you making? You're just go to a bar.
You just go to the club. Yeah.
So anyways, they go to a club, right?
Yep. This is Thais crying number 3.
Oh, okay.
So I missed number 2 somewhere in the middle there, but
yeah, I mean, we're about 20 minutes in. So
this is when I started logging them.
Okay, so 3 cries, 20 minutes in. Okay, so
20 minutes in.
Captain's log. That's tears every 7 minutes.
Put that on the poster.
All right, so then we're at the club, right? Or we go to we're in a limo.
It's a quick limo, yeah, just to show like they own a limo company, I guess. Yeah. It's
remember this? And then we are, they
get denied from the club.
Yes,
yeah. Bouncer doesn't want to let them in. The sister is annoying, and then eventually he's like, "Fine."
He's like, "Please just stop being annoying. Come in."
Yeah, basically. Yeah. I like just glossed through that scene real quick because I hated it.
Yeah. And then there's like this snaps game thing, which is annoying, and I don't get it. I still don't get it.
I'll tell you later.
Okay, thanks, bud.
No problem.
I'll
tell you
game.
when you're older.
Okay.
I don't think it might be invented for the movie.
Okay.
We'll get into it.
Okay. All right.
I got a special feature for you
because it's only referenced twice, and there's this one.
Yep. It's only referenced twice, and yet they make it a big deal in the special features.
Interesting. Okay. Mm-hmm. I can't wait. All right. So then we're back at the bar, and we get the sister showing off the snaps game she learned from at the club. I was like, I still don't get it. And then we get Holly and Daniel having a chat in the closet, right? Because she's all wasted, and she pulls him in. And he goes on about how sad his life is, and he lost his ex to his other ex who was a woman. And he goes on this little,
Yep.
And he's like, I think you're a beaut, and she just vomits.
Yeah, I mean, I think you said it exactly right. This was particularly like the stand-up scene that I hated.
yeah, because everything he was delivering was just like, it just felt like it was like a. Yeah.
It was like one-liners. Like,
yep.
I hated it.
Maybe it's because like they're like, oh, he can't really act, so like let's just just say these one lines and we'll cut it together.
Maybe.
And maybe he like they probably edit it together where it just like feels like that.
I could see that, yeah.
But
But they call it. They say that he's got a syndrome. He says he's got a syndrome. That's his thing.
Yeah, of like saying things on his mind,
rude,
rude, basically being rude. It's like I hate when people say that. Just like, sorry if I'm brutally honest. Just you don't have to be just do it.
No, like now I get pills for it. Oh.
Okay.
So anyway, so they pukes, they leave the bar, and he carries her to her mom's home, which is upstairs from the bar.
I guess so. Dope. I mean, are you kidding me?
Awesome. Yeah, very How I Met Your Mother, but also great.
Yes. If there's a checklist out of my bucket list is to own the bar and live above said bar.
That's right.
That's it. So
apparently the urn was with them the whole time also, which was kind of weird.
He drops her off in the bed, and Kathy Bates is tucking her in, and he's just standing there kind of staring at her like creepy. I'm like, dude, she's like passed out drunk. Time for you to go home. Like, get out of here, you creep.
Which Kathy Bates says.
Yes.
She's like, go close up downstairs, Daniel.
Yes.
You fucking freak.
You always have one reasonable character, and Kathy Bates is it.
Yes. Yes.
Well, sort of.
And then, I wrote 3 bullet points about this scene. The carrying, the Kathy Bates saying go to bed, and then living above the bar must rip. Because I'm sure it does.
Because it does. I'm just going to stroll home. Oh, man. Talk about working from home. All right. So then and then we get she wakes up next morning. We get the call from Sharon, her friend there. And she's like, hey, you're 30. You can't drink like that. I'm like,
let me tell you.
Let me tell you something. Yeah. Let me tell you something.
Grow up.
Yeah. Grow up. I wish I was 30.
Yeah. I drink just like I will.
And just drinking just like I am now than then. I'll tell you what now.
I have not begun to drink.
I have not even begun to start drinking.
Yeah, we should probably disclaimer this podcast.
Yeah, drink responsibly.
That's right.
Yeah, and then she reminds her like, hey, don't forget, you're supposed to get mail today. And then running shot from the trailer. And then she's back at the apartment and checks the mail and first letter, right?
It's the first letter, and in the letter, he's like, get a lamp. You disco diva, gotta look your best. And you're like, wait, what? He's like, get a lamp and an outfit. Then look for a sign. You'll know what to do. You're like, what?
Clearly, maybe he was like really drugged up at this point, dealing with the tumor. He was just like, lamp, dress.
Lamp, dress. You'll know what to do.
You'll know what to do.
Ours.
Look for sign. R.
P.S. I love you.
It's like a treasure map written by a pirate. R.
Yeah.
Once you find the talking lamp, put on the knockout dress, and you'll know what you do when you see the sign.
He's wasted. Are you see the talking lamp? I'm wearing a dress now.
And you can only wear the dress when the lamp is on. Okay, that's important to remember.
This is when Tice cries for the 4th time. After the first letter.
Yeah, and then this is when we are going further off the cliff of mental stability here, and she's laying in bed in the knockout dress, turning the lamp on and off, and just watching him delusions of
I love lamp.
of Jerry walking around the apartment, and she's like, I can still feel him around.
Yep.
I see dead people.
So then we cut to the office, right? Or
work, real estate,
apartment,
right?
Real estate.
She's trying to sell this dope ass looking apartment in wherever they are. I forget where they were.
Probably Manhattan, I think.
Yeah. And
Brooklyn. It's in Brooklyn because that's the whole point of the scene.
Well, so that I was like, I thought, but I was confused because like he didn't want to buy the place, and the wife comes in hot, and she's like, I do want to buy the place, but then the wife was like, I don't want to live in Brooklyn, and Holly's like, what's wrong with Brooklyn? Right. So that's what I thought was weird, but whatever.
You're right.
Basically, just basically showing she's kind of losing her edge even at work,
Yeah, that's right.
And she basically is just telling the guy like, hey, don't let her boss you around. Don't let her tell you what to do. Your balls are like those things that clink against each other. Mm-hmm. And then the wife and her kind of go at it. Yelling starts, and then that's pretty much it.
Then back to the apartment when she finds the suspenders piece on the floor that hit him in the eye and gave him a brain tumor.
Yes.
And then that ends.
Yeah.
Then it's new subtitle, Spring.
Oh, I missed that one. I was like, because later on, all I saw was the winter and summer ones. And I was like, well, we don't have other holiday seasons here?
We start with spring, yeah.
All right, so we're back with spring. I missed that. Just kind of more sap seeping
this
from
is
the walls.
The leprechaun from the trailer.
Yeah, it's all trailer stuff.
Yeah, apparently he was in a play with Al Pacino. He's like, I'm too good for this. Which I appreciate. That guy, underrated.
Yes, Mike Doyle, crushing it.
Yep. And she doesn't want the balloons. And then this is when he delivers the karaoke letter. That's what she gets out of him, not the cake.
Yes.
And she's like, no. And then like from beyond the grave, he's like, yes. And I'm like, this is, like, I hate this. Just like from the trailer. Like, it's scary and abusive. And
yeah, it is terrifying. I'm terrified for her.
Yeah. And then he's like, remember the last time? And I was like, oh no.
Oh no. Oh no. You're going to get up there and you're going to frickin' sing. See all those people out there? They're expecting you to frickin' sing.
Imagining him like a Scottish Joe Jackson. Right?
Yeah. So then they cut to a flashback, right?
Yep. And he's doing Sally Ride there.
Yeah. Yep. And he's
classic song.
Just aggressively ripping it up on stage there.
Yeah.
Everyone's clapping, everyone's into it, except for the wife. She's not having it, right?
Yeah. She's like really pissed about it for some reason. We're like, why?
She doesn't want to be there. Who wants to be a karaoke? I don't know. I hate karaoke.
Oh, that's fair. I like it less and less as the years go on.
Yeah, I'll go on record as saying I don't want to listen to other people sing songs terribly.
Fair enough.
It's like
that seems reasonable to me.
And most of the times you go to karaoke, it's people picking shitty songs to begin with. And so you have to like, I have to listen to a shitty song and I have to listen to you sing it shittily.
Yes.
Poorly.
Shittily. Yeah.
Shittily. Yeah. So karaoke. Yeah. No, thank you. All right. So flashback. And then, this gets like, he's basically just calling her out on stage in front of everyone. Like,
yeah. And again, it's like, it feels abusive and like,
it feels so icky.
Yeah. It's like not in good fun.
No,
like,
it's like so cringy. I'm like, did they think this was not cringy?
Yeah. He's like, she doesn't have the guts to do this. Like she's too weak to. He's like, I bet $100 she won't get on stage right now.
She's too stupid.
Yeah, basically.
She came and read the words in a teleprompter over here.
She's illiterate.
That's so stupid. She won't come up here. $100 says she won't get on this stage.
Yeah, and then she says, "Make it 2," and you're like, "What?"
Don't
like
fall for it.
Into it now for some reason, and then gets on stage and it's ridiculous, and
it's basically just them wanting to show off Hilary Swank's six-pack, I guess, and then
which I also wasn't expecting, but
and then it's just and then it's stuff from the trailer. She just falls off the stage,
and then again from the trailer, he sees her in the hospital, comes into her room, her face is busted,
like looks like she just got hit by like, I don't know,
by Gerard Butler.
Yeah, I was gonna say a fist, but I was like, I don't know if I want to go that way. But
no, like that, I mean, that's like, I'm worried about her in this movie.
Like all of this is actually just delusions. Like she made this up, but it's actually like a domestic violence situation.
Save it for,
okay, sorry,
save it for fixing it.
I'm gonna forget all these.
That's the problem with the new segments. Make our lives slightly harder.
And then
that's basically it. He's like, "Can you kiss me? At least tell me how long you're going to be mad for." And she's like, "No."
I'm not mad about you. I'm mad at you. So,
can't wait till you're dead.
So that feels like a cliffhanger spot for part 1, right?
Good hanger, yeah.
Right? Did she actually get punched in the face by Gerard Butler? Can she sing?
No.
We
already know that.
Can Jerry sing? No.
Better, but
he can sing as well as he can do an Irish accent. Let's throw that. Yeah. And I don't know. I don't know. Is there any other questions we need to answer? Or
will the sister be in more scenes?
Hope not.
Will Kathy Bates be the only reasonable character for the rest of the movie?
Will Daniel not be so awkward and annoying? Yeah. Okay. Well,
we'll find out.
If you want to answer all those questions and more, we'll be back Thursday with part 2. So thanks for listening to this part and making it this far. In the meantime, you can follow us on Instagram at It's This Meets That. We're ITMT Pod on Twitter. If you got a friend who'd like this, send it to him and subscribe to us wherever you're listening. Yeah. And while you're subscribing, you can also be reviewing. Leave us a review. 5 stars would be nice. Maybe a comment. Apple or Spotify, please, especially. Helps us get in front of more earballs. And that's what we all want, right? Or if you're feeling old-fashioned, you can send us an email at itsjustmeetsthat@gmail.com. We'll read them in Trailer Trash like we always do. Or you can go to the website, that freshly redesigned website, still fresh, beautiful, still hot. Yeah. More information about us, the ITMT team, all the old episodes, the whole back catalog, itsjustmeetsthat.com.